Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Mydefipet. Today we are talking about the brand new update and its impact on our pets and who's strongest in what areas. It's had a massive impact on the likes of Adonis, who was a heavy attacker, but now when I go through my Adonis, well, it's just not showing up because the game is very buggy on the BSC side. That it gets stuck. I can't press any of these buttons. Cardio chain's working very nicely. Breeding's working good on it as well. My advice to everybody at the moment: don't breed. Just don't do it. The game's so buggy, and we're just gonna get them. You know, they're just gonna get bombarded by people saying, "I've lost 5D pet. Can you help me out?" Keep it safe. People have tested it enough now, and it's obviously not working properly. So they need to go down for a maintenance and fix it. God knows why they haven't. Why they still, when they're seeing people they're having the errors. But anyway, I'd say my advice: don't breed yet. We can wait. You know, there's no rush on it. You could wait easily a week, and it's not going to affect anything because we haven't got battling yet. And then the consensus is very well. What it's looking like is that breeding future gens doesn't make them any stronger. I saw a Gen 15 and it was no better than my Gen 0. So there's no rush to get better pets from that either. But today we're going to be looking at stats on each of these pets and see which are the strongest now and who are the heaviest attackers, and also going to see how the progression within leveling system as well as silver. So a lot to get into. If you want to keep up to date with future updates on Mydefipet, then here is the place to subscribe to, because I will do my best to keep you up to date with everything related to Mydefipet. Hit the notification bell if you want to keep up to date when the videos drop, and hit the like button if you enjoy the video and find it helpful. That always helps the channel out. Right, so what I did was I looked through my pets and saw that there are a lot of similar stats for the same pets now. My Adonis were coming out with like 49 attack, 48, 47. But now when I click on every Adonis, it's like they're just, oh, this is level 10. But the non-level 10s are all like 40. Yeah, attack 40, attack 40. There seems to be a huge loss of variation on Adonis. I mean, this guy doesn't have wings, and obviously that's why he's on 33. There definitely seems to be a loss of some were having better attack. It's very much reliant on you on a full set, you know, wings, horns, glasses, and pendant on things like Adonis. Otherwise, you're missing out on a lot of extra stats, which if you pulled pre the game's release in beta, you will have had, you know, full works on all of your pets. Right, who's strongest then? Look at this beast. Love the new colours. What I did was put it all into an Excel document, and as I compared some of the different types, there wasn't too much variation, so I thought it wasn't going to be too difficult. These are every single pet with full works, you know, every possible item that you can have, and they're pretty much similar to the ones with full setup as well. So this is just a base example. This is not representative. You may have stronger ones or weaker ones, but hopefully that we get some good comparison. There's probably statistically a big enough difference between some of these that it's a fair thing to make assessments of. So what we have is Rudolph, Fang, Adonis, Tiger, Venom, Bugsy, Mydefipet, and Spike. And I've taken the HP, attack, critical, speed, total, and silver per hour for level 1. Then I've taken it for level 10, so I've leveled those guys up so we can see what the progression system is. My thinking with that is that Mydefipet has a higher progression within silver output than Rudolph does, even though Rudolph can start higher sometimes in terms of amount of silver per hour at level 1. So I thought maybe there's differences as well in attack, HP, critical, and speed. We have below what I've written are the stats of what they are best for, and below each stat stated as well which ones are the highest within those different factors. So we have HP. Rudolph, Fang, Adonis. Rudolph was one of the higher HP players, but we have Adonis and Spike as the highest HPs coming out. So Adonis starting at 308 and level 10 became 1163. Now that's massive compared to Tigra, who used to be a high HP, who's 158, half almost, and 563. So is half at that point, less than half, because Adonis has a better multiplier, 3.77 for HP. Rudolph has a big multiplier, but starts with low HP. But here's the thing, as they start to level up higher and higher, you know, at level 20, Rudolph will start to catch up with Adonis on HP. Not massively, probably not significantly enough by level 20 to catch him, but still, at higher levels, if you've got a higher multiplier, you're going to come out with a higher stat. Then when it comes to attack, sorry, Spike was 337, became 1282. High multiplier and high beginning stat makes it one of the best tanks. So we've got Spike in there as a tank, and we have Adonis. These are the tanks. These are probably going to be the one you want at the front if there's going to be like you have to attack the first opponent. And when it comes to attack, as I said, Adonis used to be the beast here. Starts at 40 and then goes to 94 by level 10 on average. But then Fang is the killer. Look, starts at 60, so 50% more attack, and ends up at 150. So it has a higher multiplier when you compare these two ones. And comes out at 150. That's huge. Compared to Rudolph, who has 40 attack. It's a massive difference. Over 3 times more powerful, nearly 4. We've got Tigra, who is also a good attacker, comes out at 122 from 50. Venom starts with very average, but then the multiplier isn't so great on this one. Bugsy, 3267. Winged Pupper goes from 47 to 109, so a good attacker. And Spike, 55, going on to 136. So Spike is not only a tank, but he's a tanky attacker, which means he's probably going to survive longer. And if he's getting those hits, it's going to be really good. If he's got a fairly good crit hit as well, he's going to be the one to potentially go for in terms of who's the best. Criticals then, let's bring us to that. We have the highest critical hitter, in this case, is Bugsy, with 13 critical and 16 at level 10. There's a multiplier of 1.23. Remember, these multipliers might be different for your own. This is not, it could be that some of these multipliers are different depending on the pet you have, depending on the traits that you have. We have Rudolph comes out with 1.5, goes from 6 to 9. But you'll notice that each of these go up by about 3. So it might not be that the 1.5 is a good estimate. It's actually just plus 3 of whatever it starts at. And therefore, at the lower levels, 6 plus 3 is going to have 1.5. It's going to come out as higher. I'd imagine it works like that. And for most of these will work like that. This just gives us a rough estimate of, come level 10, how much higher they are. Fang, 12 to 15. Now this is huge because Fang with 150 attack at 15, if it crit hits, it could be potentially a one hitter, depending on the crit boost that you get against certain creatures, like Rudolph with 615 health. If it does 150 and it's 400% critical damage, almost killed him. Adonis, 8 to 12. Tigra coming out with a good attack. Now Tigra having below average HP. Then we've got high attacker, high crit, makes it a good attacker. Next we have Venom, 8 to 10. So not a huge. He does. The only one who doesn't get a 3 bump. Everybody else does. Bugsy, a high crit hitter. So not great not great attack, but high crit. Winged Pupper, a pretty fairly high damage, 109. Comes out with 12 at level 10 crit hit. Spike. So Spike obviously is one of the highest hitters as well. 136. 9 crit hit, so the lowest as well as Rudolph on crit hitters. So Spike's looking, yeah, a tanky attacker with a low crit hit. It'll be interesting to see how much that crit boost gives you if you get the hit. We've got Speed next. Speed is probably going to be, you get to attack first. Now this could be good for if you've got a high speed, high attack, high crit, or high speed, high attack, and if you just get lucky on the crit, they're going to be a really good combination to have. And Fang has fairly good, but doesn't level up much. Rudolph seems to stay the same there for speed, 60, 60. Fang goes from 76 to 79. Adonis, 49 to 50, so weaker than Fang. Tiger at 108 to 111. So Tiger is one of the fastest attackers. Does have fairly good attack, high crit, high speed. So that's going to be Tiger is really going to try and eliminate somebody before they get to attack Tiger and affect its HP. But its HP is very, very low. Almost the lowest next to Bugsy. We've got Venom with 56, 58. Bugsy with 80, going up to 80, staying the same. Winged Pupper's the same, goes from 90 to 90. But 90 is a fairly high speed compared to some of them. And Spike with 49, 42. So Spike looking like a tanky attacker, but is slow and doesn't have the best crit hit. So in total, I mean, I think it's very hard to assess the totals now because HP is obviously going to play the biggest part on the total. So if you've got a high HP, somebody could be better attack crit speed wise in terms of these totals, and I don't think there's anything really to be gained from this. So obviously Spike is the highest on 1,469, but it's because his HP is so big. Yeah, I'd ignore the total column really. And then we have Silver. So if you're going for characters to just give you pure silver output, it's still the same. Winged Pupper is in first place, giving you starts at. This is the only one that starts at 482. Now there is higher, and the silver output goes up to 1,130 on this Winged Pupper at level 10. It's a 2.34 multiplier, whereas as I mentioned before, Rudolph can start out higher, 511. Perfect example, and then at level 10. Has only got 1,029, and that's because it goes up less per level each time compared to Winged Pupper. Then after that, the best silver outputter is a Spike with 957 at level 10 on this one. Then we have pretty much similar. We have Adonis and Venom and Tigra, very close to that. Then we have Bugsy, and then the worst silver outputter is Fang. Although at high levels, Tigra probably would become worse because it's got, if it's 1.72 for every single Adonis, very, very low. So what does that mean? We've got Rudolph is pure silver. That's the only real benefit of Rudolph. You've got low HP, low attack, low crit, and low speed. Everything is low on Rudolph. It sucks. So Rudolph is only for speed. For silver, sorry. Fang is a great option with really high attack, high critical. So when it comes to battling, he's going to be trying to knock people off the out of the game straight away. Adonis is a tank and a mid all-rounder, so all round for attack, crit, and speed. Apart from speed, actually, speed's pretty slow. Everything else is about average. Tigra is a speed crit with fairly high attack, 122 at level 10. So Tigra is going to be a really good choice for trying to knock people out quickly. But that HP is risky because it's 563. Venom is a mid all-rounder, so average HP, average attack, average crit, and just below average speed. Bugsy is a crit hitter. Crit critter. Highest crit, 16. So it's probably going to be most likely to hit a crit above all the other types. It does have slightly above average speed, and when it comes to attack though, it is weak. So even if that crit does 200% more damage, you're still going to get more damage with one fang without a crit. Could render it very useless. And Bugsy has the weakest HP, 415 by 417 level 10 on this one. Winged Pupper. In the past that used to be like quite a good crit hitter. Now, best silver output by far. It's got fairly good speed at 90. It's got slightly above average critical hit. It's got slightly above average attack as well, and slightly above average HP. So it is actually probably best all-rounder, I would say. And then we got Spike, the tanky attacker. Biggest HP, second biggest attack, but the crit is low, so depending on how much that multiplies, you might lose out on a lot of potential quick extra damage. And Spike is going to have to probably wait a go before everybody goes, because its speed is the worst. Now if you think of that in frame of like, if you can 2-hit an enemy, Spike may have really high attack but high HP, but if somebody hits him twice and kills him, he's only going to get one attack in that time. That's where Spike's going to fall down. I mean, it's pretty much the same for all tanks in game. You're going to have some loss of speed when they're tankier. It's expected. It's fairly good balancing. And that's it. That is obviously conservative estimates because these are based on just one type. But there isn't that much variation, not that I've seen, between different types at the moment. And for now, I would say the conclusion, the best choice is, I mean, if I was picking top three probably, because I mean you can have 4 in your squad. I would definitely pick Spike, have that tank up front. I would have Fang for sure. Good HP, high attacker, high crit, and fairly average speed. Probably have 2 Fangs to be honest. And then add one. Maybe you would have Tigra at the back if they're like last to get hit, as somebody who does high damage output and has a high crit damage but has a little less health. But if you compare that to Fang, I mean, its speed is what boosts it and makes it better than Fang potentially in a battle. But yeah, it just has half the less HP of some of these guys. Rudolph wouldn't get a place at all. Adonis is alright. As I say, it's a mid all-rounder, but it's very slow. If the speed was slightly higher, it might be an alright choice. HP is good. And he's tanky. Adonis is a safe bet to keep alive and get some hits in. If my Adonis had a crown, I think I'd choose Adonis because you'd have that extra skill. Venom for me is no go, just a mid all rounder. Winged Pupper as a best all rounder is a very good choice. I'd probably actually have, if I had to have 4 different ones, I would have Spike, Winged Pupper, Fang, and it'd be between Adonis and Tiger to have that tanky mid all-rounder or to have a speed crit. And if you can play someone at the back and they're less last to get hit, I'd have Tiger, get that high damage output. Okay, well that's all for this one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you have, please leave a like on the video. I will put a link to this in the description below so you can access it. I'll link the whole file, so if you want any of these resources that I post on my video, I share the file. So we've got Aura Crown Rarity, which I don't know if anybody else has added anything. Nope. You can add to these as well. So, you know, count your number of pets, number of crown, number of blue aura, number of red aura, number of yellow aura. We see whether it matches these being legendary, these being epic, blue being rare, and yeah, and that's it. And then also count how often people get crowns. Apart from that, that is all for this one. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video. It always helps the channel out. Hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That is all from me. See you guys soon.